Hey, this is Judgment Waits, aka James. How in the world are you guys doing today? In this video, I wanted to talk to you about bullying. Here just recently, I got a message from somebody and they told me that they were going to school and they've been dealing with bullying. In fact, they've been dealing with it so much and it's so bad. This person actually told me that they literally hated their life. And when I heard that, man, I tell you what, it really hit me hard. And so that's why I want to bring you this video. That's why I want to talk to you about this. I want to get your advice, and see what you guys have to say about it. I want to tell you about my experiences. I don't know if you've ever experienced bullying yourself, but I grew up with that. When I was in junior high, it was just me and my mom. We were dirt poor. We never had name brand stuff, or I should say I never had name brand shoes or clothing or anything like that. I relied a lot on hand-me-downs. So, kids teased me and they made fun of me and they, bullied me over this. Growing up, moving on into high school, it continued. Unfortunately, I started off school when I was like 4 years old, so I was like a year younger than everybody, and as a result, I was really small for my age. In fact, I kind of tell everybody I was like the second shortest kid in my high school up until my junior year, and then on my junior year, I finally shot up a little bit. But, while I was that small sized, people tended to pick on me and kind of make fun of me. I remember going to my very first class my freshman year. It was a business economics class, and it was actually made up of freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. So you had kids from all different stages in there. And I remember this kid on the very first day, he came up to me and started getting in my face and everything like that. And he actually stapled my books together. I mean, he took them and he stapled them. And I tell you what, from then on, for like the next 2 weeks, this kid made my life a living what. I mean, it was miserable. I hated going to school. And in fact, I spent my whole freshman year in the bathroom. I would wait for the bell to ring and then I would go to class because, by then the teacher would be in the room and this kid wouldn't pick on me. But when this kid saw me in the hallway and everything like that, he'd still knock my books over and give me a hard time. So, I really hated that. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but I can tell you, I hope you haven't experienced that. The bullying that I had to deal with too is nothing compared to what kids today have to deal with. You're seeing not only this verbal and physical bullying, but you're also seeing social media taking a role. And I think that's why we're seeing kids committing suicide more and more, just because this issue is becoming bigger and bigger, and we're seeing it done at younger and younger ages. My daughter is 7 years old. When she was 6 years old, she went to a birthday party, and when she went to this party, she was wearing a patch over one of her eyes. She actually has this issue with one of her eyes being really weak. She's almost blind in it. So she has to wear a patch over her good eye in order to try and get her bad eye to start working more and to get strengthened. But as a result, she's pretty much, she really can't see, and she has a real hard time with depth perception as a result. So she's really clumsy. Well, she went to this birthday party, and when she came home, I asked her, hey, how did the birthday party go and everything like that? Well, I saw her face just like literally melt, and she started crying, and I was like, what happened? What went on? And my son actually, who went with her, said, well, there was this girl that was making fun of her and everything like that. And so, I started talking about it, and here this girl was teasing her about everything, and here this girl was a 7th grader. So here's this 7th grader picking on a 6-year-old. I tell you what, as a father, I wanted to go bust some heads. This is one of the things that I worry about with my kids, is being picked on, being teased, and being bullied. I mean, what do you tell a 6-year-old that is being teased like this and made fun of, and who breaks down bawling right before you? That's what I want to talk about in this video. I don't know if I have all the right answers. It was hard for me to talk to my daughter and to come up with something that she would understand, but I want to try to do that in this video. I know 3-Day Respawn is going to be taking on this subject really soon, and I'm going to partner with them because I want to really help get the word out about bullying and take a stand against that. But I want to give you some advice. These are my thoughts and my views. I don't know if they're right or not, but I want to talk to you today about bullying and how to respond to bullying. growing up, one piece of advice that people often told me was, oh, you just got to ignore the bullies and they'll leave you alone. I can tell you honestly from personal experience, that does not work. So let's just squash that one right there. As a Christian, I also heard, well, Jesus said in Matthew 5 that you are supposed to turn the other cheek. Yeah, he did say that. Well, let's look at what he was really talking about. Jesus in chapter 5, or in Matthew chapter 5, he was saying, don't respond to an insult with an insult. And that's actually really good advice when dealing with a bully or somebody that's making fun of you. If somebody makes fun of you or insults you, do not insult them back or, make fun of them back, because what does that do? That just escalates everything. So, that's pretty good advice. Turn the other cheek. What Jesus wasn't saying there, though, was he wasn't saying be a doormat and just let people walk all over you. There was a time when Jesus was literally slapped in the face by a high priest, and it's in John chapter 18, verse 19. Here we get to see how Jesus responds, and it's not like a doormat. In fact, Jesus actually confronts this bully, and he says, hey, if I said something was wrong, then tell me what I said was wrong. But if I spoke the truth, then tell me why you slapped me. So he actually confronts this guy. Now, you can do that with people that are bullying you verbally and everything like that. If it's getting physical, you probably don't want to do that. But I tell you what, how do you respond to somebody that's doing something physically? Guys, you have to get help. Growing up, I heard don't be a tattletale. There's a difference between being a tattletale and actually telling on somebody. Being a tattletale is actually trying to get somebody in trouble, but actually telling on somebody, it's all about trying to help somebody or to protect somebody. So, guys, you have to go to your parents, you have to go to your school principals or teachers, and you got to talk to them. Go to your church pastors, any adult that you can go to them and talk to them. Don't feel guilty about it. Don't think you're tattletaling, because you're not. You have to stand up for yourself. All right, let me give you one more piece of advice. And this is actually not a piece of advice for you if you're being bullied, but it's actually for everybody else. When I went to camp one year, I was in my room and there were 5 other guys in there. And there was this one guy that actually just started picking on me and making fun of me. And as a result, a couple of the other guys kind of joined in with him. And I think that's what happens with bullies, because, people don't want to be bullied, so they join in with the bully and kind of, pick on somebody. But there was this other guy that actually stood up, and this other guy actually literally got in this kid's face and basically shut him up. And I tell you what, that guy is my hero, and I'll remember him for the rest of my days. That guy was pretty awesome. You have the chance to be that guy. You have the chance to stand up with people. And I don't care how big you are, take a stand. When you see somebody being bullied, please take a stand with them, step up, and I guarantee you, more times than not, that bully will back down, especially if you can get some other people to stand up with you. So I want to encourage you, as you're in high school, maybe you're one of the big kids or one of the popular kids, man, you have the chance to stand up for somebody and to drastically change somebody's life. If you're a Christian, we're actually called to defend the weak. In 1 Thessalonians 5, I forget the verse, but he says, stand up for the weak, protect them. And you see Jesus doing this time and time again, where he stands up for women or stands up for the poor. We need to do this, whether you're a Christian or not. We need to do this. But let me know what you think about it. Let me know what type of advice you'd give somebody who's dealing with being bullied or anything like that. Part of me would love to say, hey, just punch the guy in the face. I took like 6 years of karate, so I feel like I can handle myself now, and I plan on teaching my kids. But I hope they don't respond that way unless there's nothing else that they could do. But let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think about bullying in general. If you would, I would really appreciate it if you give this video a thumbs up. But as always, guys, take care and God bless.
Thanks a lot.